What is going on, guys? Tommy from Offroad Jeeping here. Another list video for you guys. This one's for new Jeepers, people who've been doing it for a while. This is kind of a little bit of everyone. Even if you've been doing it for a while and you think you've got a lot of stuff, I promise you'll find something on this list that you don't have. And this one's going to be 10 things that you could do to your Jeep to make it better or more capable or just more useful off-road. And they all cost less than $100. So we all know Jeep parts can be really expensive. So I put a cap at $100. Just everyone, you don't have to do this all at once because 10 things for $100 is $1,000, good amount of money. But you can do these one at a time and slowly start building up your equipment that you take wheeling. So first thing is gonna be rock sliders. Now you might be asking, how the heck do I get rock sliders for $100? It's simple. If you have a JK, go on Marketplace and find a set of Ruby Reels. Before making this video, I went in my local Facebook Marketplace, which is, for reference, that's the Orlando metro area, because I'm in Daytona, and I found 3 sets of Rubicon rails, all under $100. I found a set for a JL 2-door, a JL 4-door, and a JK 4-door. So they are out there. Look out for some deals. That will 100% save your body from some really expensive damage if you try to play in rocks without them. So yeah, number 1 is a set of factory takeoff rock sliders. Next is a set of tire deflators. So for those of you who don't know, one of the most important things to do off-road is to air down. It's free traction. There's no better way to do it. So when you air down, your tire has a wider contact patch and it pretty much gives you more traction. More contact patch, more traction, and overall just a much better ride, especially if you're going to like washboard roads. So get yourself a set of tire deflators. You can get them for various prices. I'll throw one recommended one up here for you guys to go check out, and I'll put links to everything down in the description below. Next is a super important one, and that is recovery gear. So recovery gear that can cover a whole bunch of stuff, but to start out, a good tow strap, and I'd recommend 2 shackles, one for your rig and one for the other rig that's pulling you out or you are pulling out. You can get some really good quality recovery gear for not too expensive. I have a Gear America strap. It's been fantastic. I have a coupon code that you guys can use to save a little bit. I'll throw the link for like the referral link down so you guys can use that. But strap, 60 bucks, spend 20 bucks on a couple shackles, and you'll be really better off if you get stuck out in the middle of nowhere. Next thing that is always really good to carry in your Jeep if you're out and about and is under 100 bucks is a really good plug kit. Now, if you're carrying a spare tire, this applies a little less to you, but still doesn't hurt to have for how inexpensive they are. But a really good plug kit, ARB makes a really good one. I'll put it up here, just like a lot of this stuff. But yeah, ARB makes a really good one that's designed for oversized tires, especially if you're not running a full-size pair. Definitely invest in a plug kit to take it with you on trips. Now, the next one can be as cheap as $1 or as expensive as about 40 to 50-ish. And that's somewhere to put your trash. So whether it's your trash or your trash you find on the trail, as off-roaders, we always want to leave places better than we found them. You can just get a white trash bag from your local supermarket, just toss it in the trunk. Or if you want to keep it outside, Spiderweb Shed makes their, I believe it's called the trail sack. And then you can get a trasharoo as well. You're out wheeling and you see some trash, just grab it, throw it in there, help keep places open and help future generations to come enjoy this hobby. Next thing to help make your Jeep a little bit more capable, that is kind of an unorthodox thing to put on a list like this, but for under 100 bucks, an angle grinder. I know that doesn't really go into the list, but chances are if you're off-roading your Jeep, you're going to be putting bigger tires on it, you're going to be wanting to get as much travel as possible, and you really don't want your tires slamming up into your tub or anything. You don't need a cordless one, just get a corded angle grinder. You can use it to grind down your bumper if you scratch it. You can use it to clear out your clearance out your wheel wells if you have bigger tires and you want to get all the travel out of it. If some stuff like frame shop bumpers or a snorkel require you to do cutting, get an angle grinder. You'll use it multiple times throughout your build, and clearancing is a very easy way to make your Jeep just that little bit more capable. Next thing is a handheld radio. So I have a handheld in my Jeep. I have a baofeng unit. I'll throw the one I have up in here. And I also have a CB right here, just always in the Jeep. I'm gonna be honest, for every 20 times I use the handheld, I maybe use the CB once. Nowadays, everyone's using the handheld. Very few people, at least in my experience, are still using the CBs off-road, just because people know that not everyone has the CB, and it's a lot easier to get a hold of a handheld. So for 30-40 bucks, you can get yourself a quality handheld. Highly would recommend if you're going on trail rides, especially with groups of people. So next thing is some sway bar disconnects if you don't already have them. So if you have a Rubicon, this doesn't apply to you. You have the electronic sway bar disconnect and you're good to go. Now, if you don't, you could just get a really simple, cheap pin style sway bar disconnect, and that'll make your Jeep perform far better off-road, because essentially it'll allow you to articulate more, which means you can keep the tires on the ground more of the time, putting the power to the ground, because if those tires are just in the air spinning, they are not doing you any good. So invest in a pair of sway bar disconnects, and you'll be surprised with how much that'll transform your rig off-road. Next thing that you should most definitely have for your Jeep that you can start out with for under $100 if you're gonna go off-road is some tools. So we're off-road, we're pushing our vehicles to the limit. It's inevitable that you're gonna break something, and you wanna at least have a basic tool set. So obviously not all of us can carry all the tools we could possibly want in our Jeep all the time. So what I personally do for my Jeep is I have just a basic, I think it's like a $60-70 toolkit that you can get at any hardware store, like the plastic ones that have the handle, and they have a socket set, screwdriver, wrenches, and I have that, and then accompanied to that I have a tool bag with a lot of the specific tools that I know I might need. Like I've got a socket for my 14-bolt hub, I've got big sockets for my steering, I've got a breaker bar, I've got a bunch of just random half-inch drive sockets for the breaker bar that I know my Jeep has a lot of, like for Jeeps 13 mils, 18 mils, those are big ones. So that's what I'd start out with. Get a sort of a universal sort of toolbox at your local hardware store, and then get a tool bag, and just as you work on your Jeep and you're modifying things and you're fixing things, just always keep thinking about, could I use this on the trail? And if it's something you could use on the trail, toss it in your tool bag. You'll never know when you just might need that piece. So the final thing on this list, if you're gonna go out wheeling, especially really remote and especially out like rock crawling, is some spare U-joints. So I know JKs, a lot of them have the CV joints, so this might not apply to you, but I know me personally, I set up my Jeep so that my drive shafts all have 1350, so I just always carry a 1350 U-joint. So if I bust a U-joint, I know that I can, with a little bit of ingenuity, using hammer, and I could at least get that U-joint in there to get back off the trail. So if you're gonna be out there remote, 30-40 bucks, if that. I think I paid 20 for my spare 1350 U-joint. But carry a U-joint for your axle shafts, for your drive shafts. You never know when it might save you. So that just about sums it up. There's 10 quick, cheap, under $100 things that may become invaluable to you on the trail, and I have all of those in my Jeep. I carry them all with me when I go wheeling, and I didn't do them all at once. I did one thing first and another thing. I think the first thing I did on that list was, well, my Jeep came with the sliders and the sway bar disconnects, but just a little handheld radio, and then after that, tools. But just slowly start working your way through that list, and with all 10 of those things, you can get yourself out of most any situation you'll find yourself in. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video if you want to, comment on the video if you want to, subscribe on the video if you want to, and I hope I'll see you guys in the next video.